Coming up next, I'm going to tell you how to quit your job like a pro. And then, retirees are unretiring. Is that good or bad? We'll talk about it. And of course, we take your calls. It all starts right now. All right, welcome to the Ken Coleman Show, coming to you from our Ramsey Solutions studios in Nashville. Hope you are having a great day wherever and however you're watching the show. Thank you so much for being here. If you're enjoying the show, give us a thumbs up right down there below the video window. Subscribe and share. We're growing because the message is getting out. I don't have to hate Mondays. I don't have to just kind of get through the week. Even if I don't hate my job, I got a good job. There's more out there. There's money and meaning. There is a unique role that I'm supposed to fill in my work. Life's too short to just have a job, even if it's a good one. There's got to be purpose in our professional lives because we know there's purpose in our relationships. So we're diving into that very important topic. It is you. You are the topic. 844-747-2577. Welcome to the show. You can also engage. In fact, I'm going to pull it up real quick in the YouTube chat room. I forgot to do this before I started the show, and I love seeing what happens. In fact, yesterday on the show, we had a fun comment during the show, and I told the gal, I said, hey, call in. Right now, I want you to share your story. And she did. Tony was amazing. And so here we go. I'm going to pull it up right now, and hopefully I've got the volume turned off. Every once in a while, I leave the volume running. So there we go. It's up and running, so I'll be paying attention to the chat room for those watching live, which is just after noon Eastern Standard Time. So there we go. All right, it's a caller-driven show. I'm here to counsel, coach, cheer you on. Tactics, what do I need to do? I got some choices to make. Hey, Ken, I'm just dealing with these emotions. These emotions are holding me back. Help me see the truth in these emotions. Help me to overcome some of the emotions and the thoughts that I'm thinking. I'm here to help you on that as well. All right, let's get to today's ultimate teaching. All right, this is what I really want you to know. We have so many people quitting. Record numbers in July and August. I think we'll see numbers in September, October be the same. So how to quit like a pro, because there's the right way to quit. We get this call a lot on the show. Hey, Ken, I know it's time to move on. I want to do it the right way. And that's a decent human being. That's a healthy human being who's asking that question. So I thought, let me just give you some basics. Here's how you quit like a pro. First thing, communicate to your leader. Can we stop with the ghosting? I know people have done it. I don't want to guilt anybody if you're watching and you've done this before. I don't want to make you feel like a bad person. But I just want to say, can we stop with the ghosting? It's not good. Can we just say that? It's not proper. It's not decent. And have we lost all decency? Can we stop with the ghosting? So here's my point. A form of ghosting is where you just don't tell your boss you're leaving. Some people do this. They just leave. They don't show up. Or they just send an email or drop a letter at their desk and they don't show up. I want you to sit down with your leader face-to-face, and in the face-to-face communication, also hand in your resignation letter. Be classy. It's only good, and it can't harm. But if you ghost and you don't do it the right way, it can hurt you. It can come back when you least expect it, when you feel you were justified, no matter what has happened to you, no matter how unjustly you were treated. If you ghost and you don't leave well, it could come back to haunt you. Secondly, how about some preparation to exit well? Not just communicate to the leader and give the resignation letter and be classy. How about being a real pro? A pro does their job to the last moment. That's what a pro does. An amateur acts like an amateur. Pro acts like a pro. I'm a pro. I'm going to do a good job until the very last moment. Exit well. So set up the company well for the transition. What notes could you make for the person who's going to replace you? Maybe it's procedural notes. Maybe it's notes about different team members. Hey, this person likes to handle things this way. What are some inside baseball notes? Are there certain types of work projects that if you finished well, it would set up the new person better? That's the idea of preparing your exit. This is effectively passing the baton. We watch these relay races in the Olympics. It's very important, no matter how strong the leg is run, that the baton is passed effectively so that no efficiency, no speed is lost. In fact, many relay races are won on the exchange. That's the idea here. Okay. One of my favorite stories of a baton passing is when former presidents in their last day of office will write a letter. I know George W. Bush did this for Barack Obama, and I'm sure other presidents have done it. I just read this one story. But this idea of, hey, here's what you're about ready to step into. I'm rooting for you. Here's what I've done. Here's some things you need to know. There you go. And finally, finish strong. I talked about this just a moment ago. I touched on this idea of being a pro. But don't phone it in. Don't get senioritis. Every senior struggles with this, right? They know they're done. They've got their college accepted. They're done. They're ready to go. And it's kind of like, none of this matters. And boy, is that a temptation for those of us who've accepted a job somewhere else. And we're finishing out our 2 weeks or final day or whatever it is. Finish well. Don't phone it in. Stay engaged until the last moment. So quick review. How do you quit your job like a pro? And then here's the deal. I want to make a point here. Doing these things doesn't mean that the company isn't going to throw you under the bus or say something bad about you because of its horrible leadership or their unhealthy coworkers or whatever's going on there. This doesn't guarantee that when you leave, they only say great things about you, because I think that's what most of us are worried about when we leave. What do they think about us? What do they say about us? But we can't control that. Everything I just gave you right here is about you controlling what you can control. And so that's all you can do. So now here's the deal. I just want to tell you, they still may say something bad about you, but you can't worry about that. You know what this is for? This is for you. This is for you to be a class act. This is for you to be mature. This is for you to be a pro. This is for you to know that you did everything the right way. And that's where that conscience comes in. See, there's a difference between what people say about us and think about us and what we know to be true. And I would much rather have a clear conscience than I would have everybody's approval. That's just me. Maybe I'm the only one. I don't think so. And so, quick review. A pro communicates to their leader it's time to go. A pro prepares the exit and prepares it well. And a pro finishes strong. You do that, you get the best chance of having a super clear conscience. Well, first of all, there's no chance. You will have a clear conscience, but also the best chance of somebody saying something good about you because you left well. So very important, how to quit your job like a pro. 844-747-2577 is the number. Let's get to the phones. Coming up right now is Clint in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Clint, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken.
How are you, Clint?
Pretty good. Yourself?
I'm living the dream. What's going on?
So I was let go from my engineering job in March because we were working for some airline companies, and all of their money dried up when people stopped flying, so they stopped doing development, and so work kind of dried up. And then I've been looking for another job with varying intensity since then, with no luck. And I guess I'm just trying to figure out, am I shooting myself in the foot?
Well, when someone asks me that, it makes me feel like you have some evidence, or if you don't have evidence, you've got some insecurities that you're shooting yourself in the foot. So what do you have some evidence, or what are your insecure feelings that are making you feel like you're shooting yourself in the foot, which means you're causing yourself not to get hired?
Yeah, so I don't know if it's, my experience, I'm 29, and my resume has 5 different roles since school. And obviously it doesn't explain all the transitions. So I don't know if people are looking at the resume going, man, this guy kind of moves around a lot. We really need somebody who's going to be, a long-term team player.
How many jobs have you had since, you said 5?
Yeah.
Okay. Are these engineering jobs you're applying for?
Yes. Yep.
Have you gotten any interviews?
I've had a few over the summer. I had one that actually resulted in about 3 weeks of full-time work. But it was a contract position, and it turned out that the that the guy that had gone to the consulting firm was playing some office politics, and as soon as his coworkers caught on to what he was doing, they were like, yeah, we're not paying for that. So the contract ended.
Okay. All right. Well, but you still earned it. So that's some good news. Okay. You earned yourself in there. So how many interviews have you had? When you say a few, how many?
Probably 5.
Okay. Did they go to the next level, or are they just straight 5 and then no callback, or they let you know we're moving forward with somebody else?
Yeah, none of them went particularly far. One of them might have gone. I mean, it's so much has happened this summer. I don't even remember all the details. One of them might have gone to a second interview.
Okay, so do you feel like you're not interviewing well? I know. Do you feel like you're not interviewing well? How do you feel when these interviews are going, in the middle of them? How do you feel afterwards?
I feel like I interview well. I tend to connect with people fairly well.
Okay, so what feedback have you
gotten?
got?
I just enjoy the conversation with people.
Great. So what feedback have you gotten?
Really.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just been, hey, it was a nice chat. We appreciate your time, but we found somebody better, or we're just not moving forward with you. Okay,
great. So I say great because we don't have much feedback to go off of. So I don't know that you've got any supporting evidence that you're shooting yourself in the foot. So now listen, this is all I've got to work with. You're not giving me much, right? And I'm not complaining.
What else can I give you?
Well, I'm not. There's nothing else you can give me. You don't have it to give. So here's where I'm going with that. It's not a complaint. I'm just telling you that I don't see a bunch of evidence that says you're shooting yourself in the foot, meaning you're doing something wrong. I just don't see it. There's no way for me to see that. Here's what I think is probably happening. You're probably not going about the process the way that I would teach. And now I'm going to teach you how I would do it. If it's me and I've got engineer's degree and you've got engineering experience, I would be leveraging my relationships and connections so that I'm not going through the traditional process until someone has said, hey, I've definitely put in a good word for you here. They want to interview you. Go ahead and apply. Because what I want is relationship capital going into the interview. Before I ever get in there, somebody that I know at that company that I'm applying for, or somebody that I know who's an engineer and has a relationship with a hiring manager, somebody else, can vouch for me and says, hey, let me tell you something, Clint's a stud. That's going to increase your chances because it feels like, to me, you're simply playing the job lottery. And for whatever reason, I don't know if you're applying for things that you're maybe not fully qualified for. I'm not sure what's going on there, but we've got to look at the clues. But what I'm pretty sure of is that you're probably not leveraging relationships like you should, connections, which gets you the job almost, or puts you way ahead of everybody else when you're in the interview process. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess my question is there a way to cultivate relationships in companies that I want to work at?
Yes, absolutely there is. So let's make up a company so you don't have to reveal it, okay? Company XYZ is one of the companies you want to work at. All right? And just without me giving you any advice, how would you go about on your own cultivating a relationship over there?
Well, I guess I'll give you one example of what I did do. There's a big defense contractor in town here, and they do some cool stuff. So I went on LinkedIn and just searched their company, and then went on people, and LinkedIn gives you hey, this is a second degree or second tier connection. You know somebody that they know. And I was able to find somebody in another town that my brother lives in and is married to one of his relatives, and I just messaged him out of the blue and went, hey, you don't know who I am. Here's kind of who I am. Here's why you might care. And would you know? So he tells me that he contacted the recruiter in Grand Rapids, as well as to see if there were any remote positions from the office he's in. And that's been a week or so since that. And I've heard nothing. So I don't know. It might still be, that ball might be rolling.
Exactly. Yes, that's a way to do it. Although what I'd prefer for you to do is I love the LinkedIn play because LinkedIn is great for information. But it's not wonderful for connection because it's still a cold call is what you essentially did. So what we want to do is we're going to go, do I know anybody that actually knows somebody that knows this guy, right? And so you really start to play this out a little bit more. Now, this takes time. But if you actually put the work in, the idea is how do you get to the recruiter over there, or that guy give you information that you need? So ideally what you'd want is that guy, that was a cold call, but you'd want that guy to give you the name of the recruiter. Then you start doing your homework. Go, do I know anybody that knows this recruiter? Because you're looking for a relational connection between you and that recruiter. Okay?
Sure.
So that's how you make the connections. And I mean, this is good old-fashioned the match game like you played when you were a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how you do this. The other thing is you've got to be connecting with other engineers, people that you know that are working in other companies and going, hey, man, I'm looking to get back in the game. It's very competitive right now. I need all the eyes and ears that I can get, somebody over here. And that's what you're doing. You're looking at people that are posting engineering jobs. And before you ever apply, you're going, okay, who's the decision maker on this job? All right, I need to shake the tree, my relationship tree, and figure out if I know anybody, even an acquaintance, that knows somebody over there. That's how you ratchet up the game, because I think you've got the qualifications. So if you're applying for stuff that you're qualified for, this is just going to be a hustle factor. And it works. I wrote an entire book on this, the proximity principle. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you my brand new book, From Paycheck to Purpose. Okay? And it's the 7 stages. Get clear, get qualified, get connected, get started. It's a deep dive, right? Get promoted, get the dream job, give yourself away, all 7 stages. The get connected stage, that's where you are. So I'm going to give you whatever version you want. So hang on the line. Jenna's going to take care of you. But this is good old-fashioned hustle. But this becomes your full-time job. And if you're not working right now, you need to go get a job or two. There's two. Grand Rapids, good job market. If you can make $15, $20 an hour driving something around, you need to get some momentum in your life and some money coming in. And then you turn this thing into a full-time job of connecting. Because if you do, I'm telling you, you're qualified. This is all about getting connected. Because you want to beat the competition. The way to beat the competition is relationships, right?
Yeah.
And that's what's missing for you. There's nothing wrong with you. I don't think you're shooting yourself in the foot. I just don't think you're going about it the best way. And I think you're discouraged. And that's normal.
That's probably fair.
Get your chin up. There's nothing wrong with you, Clint. Do you believe in your ability or not?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, then. Start acting like it. Shake the tree. Relationship tree. I'm going to give you the book. I want you to read it, and I want you to do exactly what I tell you to do. You got me?
All right, I'll do that.
All right, Clint, hang on the line. Jenna, let's get him a copy of From Paycheck to Purpose, whatever format that he wants. Make sure that happens. And Clint, I want to hear back from you when you land the job, because you're going to land the job. All right, let's go to Francisco now in Tampa, Florida. Francisco, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken, how are you?
I'm living the dream. What are you doing?
I'm looking for a new job.
Okay. What are we looking for?
So I'm an industrial engineer by trade, so you get another engineer on the phone. But I'm working for 6 months now. I just finished school. I'm not in the field I really want to be in. I worked in continuous improvement through my internship. I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've also looked into project management. I definitely like that as well. I took your Get Clear assessment, and it was like textbook me.
Oh, really? What was your? Do you have it? You have your results in front of you?
Yeah. Give me a sec.
I want to hear this. I love when folks take the Get Clear assessment and they've got it. It's like, oh, okay. He said there's textbook him. Now, folks, the reason why I'm going to have him read this is because it allows me to hear. So, Francisco, I want you to share with our audience so that I can hear what's textbook you, and that's going to help me with some ideating. So go ahead. What did it put out for you?
So my purpose statement is I was created to use my talents of inspection, logic, and organization to perform my passions of planning, analyzing, and creating to accomplish my mission of efficiency by producing order and excellence.
Oh, my gosh. Well, project management would be a definite sweet spot fit for you. There's no question about it.
Okay.
So anything in that, listen, and here's what's great. The reason I had you read the purpose statement, and the reason that the purpose statement is the payoff, it's not just the report that you get on your top 3 talents, your top 3 passions, and your primary mission. That information's great. But seeing it all together in your purpose statement, you see that now becomes ultimately your dream job description.
It really did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. When you start doing research on industries and types of roles, you don't have to wonder anymore. You simply go, okay, let me look at project management. Does project management, is that a potential dream job for me? And we go back and we look at our purpose statement. And it either does or it doesn't. It either aligns or it doesn't. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
So how can I help further?
I guess my struggle is I really want to work for a company and I value the product that comes out the door. I work right now in medical devices. It's not really what I want to be in.
Mm-hmm.
And they're fine. They're good things. They save people's lives, but that's not something I value to back my whole life around a product, So,
got it.
Yeah.
So what are
between,
what are you thinking? So you would be in. So your thing is your ultimate mission is efficiency, right? So you want to drive efficiency. So that could be producing a product or a service. True or false?
Correct.
All right. So now we simplify this because it's feeling complex in your head. You're like, Ken, I need some help, man.
Yeah.
And here's the deal. Start thinking about product or services. That's it. There is nothing else. There's nothing else in business other than a product or a service. It comes down to those two buckets, correct?
Correct.
All right then. So you're like, a medical device, that's a product. I don't have any value connection to the product. So is it a service? What products do you have a value connection to? What services do you have a values connection to? Can you make that list up?
Yeah, I applied to this company called Hallow. It's a Catholic meditation app, and it's ministry. I love that.
Awesome.
And
So that's probably quasi, isn't it? That's like a product and a service, right?
Yeah.
The product is the app, the service is the meditation and all the stuff. But we could dissect that any way we want to. Point is, there's a values connection for you.
Okay.
And that's the simple quiz for you. What are the products that I value, that I see a values connection with? What are the services? Bingo. That's what we start looking for. And then we go to those organizations that are producing those products or services, and we look at what jobs they have, and those jobs better be in alignment with your purpose.
Okay.
So this is fun now. You got it? You understand what I'm saying? It's no longer scary or intimidating if you look at it that way. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
Now it's just straight up hide and go seek, right? That was kind of a fun game growing up, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Why was that fun, Francisco, for you? I'd like to hear your definition. I want everybody to listen here. Don't check out. Why was hide and go seek a fun game for you?
Just being able to solve the mystery, I guess.
Yes, but you solved the mystery when what happened?
When everything became clear, you could see it.
No, when you found the person you were looking for.
Okay.
The object of hide and go seek is to find a person, right?
Yes.
And it was fun because you knew they were out there somewhere and you began to look for them. And when you found them, wee-hee, we won the game. This is the mentality now. You're looking for multiple opportunities that will ultimately be a dream job for you and be on purpose in your sweet spot. So now it's just a function of, you know what you're looking for. Now you just got to find it. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. Yes.
Take the pressure off. You retreat back to that purpose statement every time you look at a potential opportunity. It becomes your compass, your filter. You got it?
Okay.
You the man.
What about for certified in project management? How do I, get qualified for this? I just got my green belt for lean.
Yeah.
And Six Sigma, but it's not really exactly related, but.
Well, a couple of things. You need to decide. There's, in project management, I just learned this recently because we did this. We had a Ramsey Solutions, a free webinar. And there are multiple types of project management. It's like a language or a style, if you will. And so what you need to do is good old-fashioned research and find out what are the most versatile project management styles. And those don't require a degree. That's just certification. Okay. And so you do your research. Right? And you go, okay, if I was going to get certified to be a lifeguard, what would you do? You apply the same logic. All right, well, who would be a reputable company that could train me? How long is it going to take? How much is it going to cost? This is simple stuff. So go do your homework on this. The other thing I'm going to recommend, it's the proximity principle. I wrote an entire book on this. So I'm going to give you a copy. It was my previous bestseller. I'm going to give you a copy of the proximity principle because you know what you want to do. So the proximity principle is a deep dive of stage 3 of my 7 stages, Get Connected. And so here's what I want you to do. I want you to seek out successful project managers that you either know or you know somebody who knows a project manager. In big old Tampa, Florida, this should not be difficult. And take them to lunch or coffee or do a Zoom call or a phone call and ask them everything that you need to know, because they're successful and they're going to give you some great knowledge and wisdom. Understand?
Yes, sir.
And that's how you figure out the best way to become qualified to get a job as project management. By the way, when you're connecting with these people, these project managers, not only are you getting information to help you get qualified, they may get you connected to some actual opportunities. So this is a double-edged sword. Do you have my new book, From Paycheck to Purpose?
Yeah, I'm like halfway through it right now.
Okay, great. So now I'm going to give you the other one, which is a deep dive on the proximity principle. All right, so finish it up and walk it but I'm going to give you the proximity principle as well. So hang on the line. 844-747-2577. For Francisco, listen, you and all of our callers, everybody watching and listening, if you're moving towards making a change, I don't know why you wouldn't take 5 minutes or less and sign up at ZipRecruiter.com/Ken Coleman. I just don't understand. Actually, it's ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. I said that wrong. ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. I don't know why you wouldn't sign up. Number one, they're the number one job site in the country. They got all kinds of companies out there that are fishing for talent. So it's free to you, and it's easy. You fill out a profile in less than 5 minutes, one resume, and then they start shopping you to jobs that are a match for your profile. It's like this extra recruiter working on your behalf. It's the easiest way to get opportunities. They give you updates when people look at your profile, when they like your profile, and they allow them to contact you directly. So it's there on the screen. It's a free service. They're really good at what they do. It's like this extra strategy that's amazing that's working for you on your behalf, and it's free. ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. Go today. All right, quick break. Don't move when we get back. For those of you who have parents, friends, relatives that have retired, senior citizens looking to do more, I got some interesting news coming up.
Our world is changing, but so are we. Now, we see a smile through someone's eyes. We conquer our struggles and cherish each moment because we're shielded through faith and assured by hope. And greatest of all, we love. The world is different, but so are we.
You were created to fill a unique role in and through your work. The world needs what you have to offer. Now, some of you may be going, I have no idea what that is. Some of you may be saying, I know what I want to do, but I don't know how to get there. And then there's others of you who are saying, I know what I want to do, I know how to get there, but fear, family, doubt, finances are holding me back. I felt all of those emotions. I've been where you are, and I can tell you, there's hope. You can get there. That's why I wrote the book, From Paycheck to Purpose. It is a clear path that through 7 stages will walk you through the journey to be who you were created to be. You can make the income you want and the impact that you desire in your work. And the world needs what you have to offer. Somebody out there needs you to show up and be your best. And I know that you have what it takes.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show. So excited that you're here with us. If you're new to the program, hey, we're bringing the good news every day, the good news that you, in fact, are really important to this world. There is unique work that's out there for you where you're really stinking good at it. You use your talent, what you do best. There's work that you really love to do. It's passion for you. And there's work that creates results that you look at and you go, this is missional for me. These results matter. It's not just the work that I love. It's the results also. Already got a call today on that. Young man, very successful, Francisco, but he's not producing a result that he cares about. Medical devices. He's like, it's good. Medical devices are doing good. But he's like, you know what? I want something more. This is what I'm talking about. And it's there for you. 844-747-2577 is the number. 844-747-2577. Michaela Teller is in the chat room right now. or she was a moment ago, and she asked, how do you narrow down what you want to do out of all the possible jobs that fit in your sweet spot? I have too many things I want to try. Michaela, I love this question. This is a good question, and it highlights something that I think a lot of people don't understand. So I'm glad you asked it. There are multiple jobs that are in your sweet spot, multiple career paths, and even multiple dream jobs. Why do I drive the purpose statement as the ultimate result of the Get Clear Career Assessment? When you get a report on your talent, your top 3 talents, your passion, the top 3 passions, work you love to do, and your primary missional driver in your work, what really motivates you, that's great information, but we put it all together in a purpose statement. And you get that in the Get Clear Career Assessment. You can get it at kencoleman.com. But why do we do that? Because I want to show people a compass, a filter, to where you go, as I look at all those jobs. So for Michaela, here's how I answer the question, Michaela. If you know what your sweet spot is, and I assume that you do the way that you address this, here's the deal. Let's take the many things. Is it 5 things, 6 things, 7 things? And you know what we do? We double check. Do these 6, 7 things allow me to use my talent, to perform my passion, to accomplish my mission? Does it allow me to use what I do best, to do work I love, to produce results that matter? And if the answer is absolutely, we confirm that all 6 or 7, these multiple things I'll do, then we go, okay, all right. Now we put them to the test. So if you want to write them all out, create a journal on this and begin to look at all of them and go, okay, if I could only choose one, which one would I choose? Why? Here's another thing. I want you to just do the cursory answer, the quick answer on that. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to make sure that you connect with people. Let's say we're using this number of 6 or 7. Let's connect with people who are winning in all 7 of those areas. Connect with them. Find a way, talk with them. This is what I call the process of clarifying and verifying. We're going to talk to somebody who's actually done this for a while and is winning, and they enjoy it. So we're getting a really healthy perspective here. And we're going to do the homework, the good, the bad, the ugly, the pitfalls, things I need to be aware of. How'd you get qualified? How'd you get connected? How'd you get started? How'd you get promoted? We're going to do essentially, think of a basic college term paper of questions for people in all 7 of these things. Shadow them if you can. And here's what happens. As I clarify, I get knowledge. Then my head gets all of the stuff it needs logically. And then my heart verifies. Because I'm telling you, you won't have a tie in all 7. You just won't. Not after you do what I just described. That's how you know. That's how you know. Because your heart's going to pick a clear winner or 2. And if it's still a tough choice, take the pressure off. If you choose one but not the other, you didn't blow your life. You didn't blow it. You've not chosen the wrong thing. If this feels right, it's a good company, good culture, it's in the sweet spot, just do it. Ultimately, I believe your heart will inform you in this process. So that's how I answer that question. Thank you, Michaela. Now, Michaela, here's the deal. If that didn't answer it enough, but you got 2 or 3, I've done this on the show many times. Call me up. You can call me right now. We'll fit you in. You can call me later. Call me tomorrow. I don't care. But let's put the 3 on the table and we'll walk through it. I believe I can help uncover your heart. If you need that extra help. That's why I'm here. Thank you for watching Michaela Live and for shooting in the question. Okay, so retirees are unretiring. What's going on? Is this good? Is it bad? What does it mean for you if you're in that boat? Let's get to it in the news. Okay, this comes from CNBC. Retirees are coming out of retirement. Early retirements among older Americans were among the many labor distortions that were connected to COVID, according to economists, because health risks and other factors associated with just the kind of, think about how chaotic it was in the pandemic. A lot of people said, I'm going to cash out now. I'm out. Could have been for health reasons, could have been for maybe workload or uncertainties or whatever. And so they just said, I'm out. Okay, so that was a big thing. But the question is, economists are looking at this, are those retirements permanent? Turns out many of them are not. And if this is true and it continues that people who retired last year, or maybe even prior to COVID, and then kind of COVID's come through, and now they're kind of going, hey, the job market's hot. I've been at home for a while. I'm ready for an encore. If they come back, is this a good thing? The answer is it's absolutely a good thing. Why? Because we're seeing, and I predicted this, and we're starting to see the results, that a lot of the people who have quit over the last year or so have quit to work for themselves. It's left a big, giant, gaping hole. You read about it, you see it almost every day. Jobs available, 10.4 million jobs, 8.2 million people unemployed, can't get people to come to work, all this stuff. I was on Fox News last week talking about this, or 2 weeks ago rather. And they asked me point blank, if you were a company, would you be thinking about hiring retirees, people that are senior citizens who want to come back to work? I said absolutely, unequivocally yes. Why? Maturity, experience, and talent. That's a wonderful combination. They can be trained. They still got a ton of talent. More importantly, they got maturity and experience. I want some good locker room people. I like gray hair, whether it's premature or normal. I like it. You know what it means? Experience. Experience is, in my mind, invaluable. If I've got a person who's 62 who has equal talent to a 42-year-old, and they have equal character, everything's equal except the 62-year-old has got 20 more years experience. You know which way I'm going? You better believe I'm taking the 62-year-old. Well, Ken, isn't that a little risky? No, because the 42-year-old could get hit by a bus too. The 62-year-old may eat healthier and exercise more than the 42-year-old. Come on, leaders. That's my take. So I share this because I think that this is a good thing. I think it's a good thing for a lot of you senior citizens who you had a good job, a safe job, but it wasn't a sweet spot job. And you've had some time off, but you've always itched to get back in, but you've kind of been worried about ageism. Is that a thing? Of course it's a thing. But I think that the environment right now is very advantageous for senior citizens who are looking for an encore. And by the way, the data shows it. Nick Bunker, who did this research for North America, Indeed, their North America office, said that there are people who want to work who are retirees, and they're finding work. So be encouraged. Because at the end of the day, you show up and you tell them that you can help them win. They don't have a lot of options. Don't take that personally. Take the stinking job. What do you care? Blow them away. So I think retirees who are thinking about getting back in, this is a great time to get back in. And we're seeing it. By the way, here are the real numbers. In October 2021, the unretirement rate was 2.6%. In September, it was 2.5%. And in August, it was 2.4%. So you're seeing 3 months of a trend of people saying, I'm coming back out. I cashed in. I had some time off with the grandkids. Honestly, they're driving me nuts now. I can't do another Thursday morning ice cream for about 2 months. I need to work, whatever the reason is. And so they're back in. So, hey, this is a trend. This is a wave that if that's you, I think you need to jump in on it. So great stuff. Hey, Michaela jumped back in the chat room. She said, thank you, Ken. I'll do what you suggested. Then if I still need some more help, I'll call in. Very nice. I love it. Thank you, Michaela. You're great. You got this. You are on your way. And Michaela, I would love to hear from you, whether you call in or chat us and tell us what the conclusion is. I want to hear the rest of the story, Michaela. I think it'll encourage a lot of people. In fact, I'd love for you to call in once you decide and get it and tell your story. That's an invitation to anybody out there who's listened to the show, never called in. You've done something, and the show has equipped you and encouraged you. I want you to call in, not for a compliment. I want you to call in and share your story, like Tony did yesterday, because I think it'll inspire a lot more people than any of my teaching could, because they want to see what you did. They want to hear your successes. That's a big part of the Ken Coleman Show. So there you go. Tanya Owen says, good for the young retirees, 50 to 55. Yes, I love it. By the way, 50 to 55, Joe, all of a sudden, is not old to me. 20 years ago, 55 was, ooh, boy, that's 5 years from 60. Hey, folks, I'm 47. And if you hang around with me, you'd never believe I'm 47. All right, until I talk about old TV shows and stuff like that. Then I would reveal my age. Other than that, Nathan, the director, thinks I'm the coolest 47-year-old he's ever had the opportunity to work with. Those are his words, not mine. Take that for what you will. All right, before Nathan exposes that lie, I got to get out of here. Before I do, remember this: you matter, and you do have what it takes. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.